Hello, and welcome to Lone Wolf Ministry. This lesson is about the meaning of life. And first, I'll discuss why I chose to give it a title like that, one that might seem a little ambitious. But the inspiration for the title came from a song from one of my favorite artists, which is Passenger. And in his song, Scare Away the Dark, one of the lyrics is, the meaning of life could be streaming live on YouTube, but I bet Gangnam Style will still get more views. And I actually posted a video of me playing that song when I was out busking recently. It's a great song, and also I feel that line is poetic, that in a generation, in a world where seems we'd rather be entertained than taught, that we'd rather be numbed out and distracted rather than prepared and led in life. It's a very human concept that we would rather just watch Gangnam Style or Haktua or Puppies and Kittens, even if the meaning of life were streaming live on YouTube. I do believe that there are a precious few who will benefit from this teaching, and this is for them, for you. Secondarily, all jokes aside, while that was the tongue-in-cheek reason, was the inspiration from Passenger's song, the real serious reason was that the idea of the meaning of life gets to the heart of what lone wolf is, especially for those unique lone wolves like us, to be able to understand how to live in a manner that aligns with what does life mean and what is the meaning of life. But ultimately, initially, we really would benefit from understanding what it is we're really asking. So when someone asks, if I say, what is the meaning of life? What is the real question that I'm asking? I would contend that what it is we're really asking when we wonder about the meaning of life is how to be happy and healthy and successful in life. Another way to put that would be, how do I feel good about myself in my life? And that is what I want to unpack with this entire collection of lessons, and what I want the essence of Lone Wolf to teach and serve those who want to understand those concepts. And this video will help bridge the gap between what I've explained in the foundation of Lone Wolf and in how that connects to the meaning of life. And those meta questions we're ultimately asking with all of the more complex, ethereal, metaphysical, existential ideas that we might want to philosophize about regarding the meaning of life. I would contend they're just some things we're not necessarily meant to know, but at its essence, we're really just asking, how do I be happy and healthy? How do I feel good about myself in my life? The first concept that I wish to share, that I've learned and wish to articulate here is the concept of living from the heart versus living from the mind. Relating it back to the proverb of two wolves, the Cherokee proverb of two wolves, we can think of the human heart as the good wolf, and we think of the human mind as the bad wolf. And at its essence, my goal in my life is to live aligned and according to knowing and living my purpose and vision and dreams, which come from my heart. We're thinking of the heart as the essence of who we really are. The heart is somewhat of an encoded vessel beyond anything we've really learned about the heart, certainly beyond it being just a glorified blood pump. We've not yet begun to tap into the power of the human heart, but at its essence, it contains all of the critical information that makes up who I am. And so the mind is really just a construct, a false self, if you will, that is built up on delusions and ideas of life that are founded on external value, that aren't really me, and therefore none of those things that I pursue from my mind can make me feel good about who I am and about my life, and can serve me in my effort to be happy and healthy and successful in my life. And in that case, leave me devoid of feeling that I've achieved my meaning in life. When it comes to living from the heart and feeding my good wolf, at its essence, the goal is to support myself, which means making choices that I know are most supportive and in my best interest. Mostly the ones that maybe I don't want to make, but I know are best for me, like a parent would. For a child, no matter how much they might want to throw a tantrum, we know that we need to do what's best for the child and is in their best interest for them. And meeting my own needs in that way, especially for us lone wolves who maybe feel like that's our only option. I hope that you can find that as a gift, because that is, at its essence, what every human needs to do, is learn how to meet our own needs and make choices that support us. As I discussed, our choices are the food. So when we talk about which wolf am I feeding, the food is my choices. And when I make supportive choices, I'm feeding my good wolf, which is living from my heart. When I make unsupportive choices, I'm feeding my bad wolf and making it stronger, which is making my mind stronger. And we will discuss more of that in depth. But this is the basics of how do I fulfill my meaning in life, and how do I know myself as healthy and happy and successful and feeling good about myself in my life. Living from the heart means living from a place of truth rather than delusions. So truth and my essence, who I truly am, comes from my heart. My delusions about who I am, and largely negative ones, they come from my mind, or exclusively negative, really. And they tell me that I can't survive, much less thrive, by being who I am. I have to be someone or something other than who I am at my essence. And seeing my gifts and strengths, that's my heart, rather than seeing my failures and deficiency, which is my mind. And that is another way of thinking of that is to see opportunities and possibilities in my life rather than setbacks or regrets and failures. We will unpack these in future lessons, but this is just a foundation that I wanted to set as we move forward. And we'll begin with living from the heart versus living from the mind. Thank you.